welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ivana, and this will be my first YouTube video, so if I'm being weird or awkward, please bear with me. And as you can tell by the title, this video will be about my experience with agoraphobia, anxiety, and panic attacks. I initially wanted to make this video because I'm the type of person that when I'm dealing with something like hard in my life, I like to go on YouTube and kind of like look at videos that I can relate to, and there wasn't many on like my specific type of anxiety or like my type of situation. It's always like kind of just like generalized anxiety and stuff like that. um but yeah, like I want to talk about like really bad social anxiety. Like I'm talking about like horrible social anxiety to the point that you're getting panic attacks just by being around people, not even like speaking directly to people, just like being around people, like at all. um but yeah, let me just talk about, no, actually let me just say that I've always had anxiety my whole life. I've always had ups and downs, so I want to talk about my most recent, like really low point of my life, which started happening in July 2024, if I'm correct. Yeah, July 2024. So I was panic attack free for a few years, and I wasn't doing great, but like I was having panic attacks. My anxiety was still crippling to like the point like it was hard to like even hold jobs and stuff. But for the most part, I was able to be like in the background of people. Like I was able to go to the store, I was able to go grocery shopping. I was able to get through my day without like having really bad panic attacks every single day. And I thought I had it bad back then, but like I said, July 2024, that changed. I would say like the first instance that I realized something was wrong was one day when I was at the grocery store and I was paying for my groceries. And I wasn't alone. My husband was with me. And I was always kind of anxious to go alone, like grocery shopping. I don't know why, like for some reason I've always been very anxious to do that. So he was always with me. But anyways, that day I was like paying at the cash register while he like packed the food items up. And I remember just like feeling really weird. Like I started having like light headness, like when you feel like you're gonna pass out. And I started getting like this weird ringing in my ears, and my vision kind of like went like blurry, and my heart was racing. I started sweating and my heart was racing, and I was like shaking. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like I haven't felt like this in like a really long time, or like what is this, and that kind of just caught me off guard. During the moment, I was like trying to pay like really quick. I was like, hurry up lady, just like get through scanning my stuff and like let me go, because like I felt like my body was gonna explode or something. Like it felt so fucking weird. But anyways, I remember like I was like thinking in my head, just like hurry up. And like finally the cashier got done scanning my stuff, and like I paid or whatever. But like that left me shaking. I was like, what just happened? Like why did I just feel like these really weird symptoms like out of nowhere? Because that had not happened in a while. So I was just like, I'm talking about like it had been years since I've ever felt like that again. So it really caught me off guard. But I was like, okay, that was kind of weird. I'm not gonna give it much importance. It's whatever. Like that was just like a weird instance. Like I don't know what happened there. Fast forward to the next time I went grocery shopping, and that same exact shit happened again, but even like more intense. Like I felt like my legs were about to give out. Like my legs were so like wobbly, I could like not stand straight. Like I felt like I was about to collapse. I was shaking, guys. Like my heart was like pounding out my chest. I was standing there ready to pay again, and I told my husband, can you pay? Like I don't feel good. Like I don't know what's going on with me. And he was like, yeah, sure. And he was like kind of confused. So I was the one packing stuff now while he was up there trying to pay. Like I felt very concerned, because like I've always been able to like pay for my stuff. Like that was just so like out of character for me. But yeah, I remember one instance when I went into a Walmart that not even 4 minutes into going to the store, I started feeling a rush of anxiety all over my body. Out of nowhere, my heart was beating to the fullest. I felt like I was gonna pass out. My legs literally became jello. I could like barely walk. And I started crying. I was just freaking out. I felt like I was losing control of my body, and I started telling my husband, hey, you know what, like, I do not feel good. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Please get me out of here. And I had to like literally hold on to him and like walk, because I felt like I was gonna like fall to the ground and just pass out. And my husband was like, okay, let's go. But like every time like I looked towards the way of like the door to get out of the Walmart, like there was so many people, and I felt like so trapped, guys. I felt so trapped. I was freaking out. Like it was terrifying, terrifying, terrifying. And mind you, like I always had anxiety my whole life, but like for the most part I was able to stay in the background. It was like a different story like once I talked to people about getting anxiety, but like being in the background was usually okay for me. So it was new to me that I wasn't even like interacting with anybody. It was just me being in the store surrounded by people. So with every step I gave, a rush of like even more anxiety would go over me, and I felt stuck in the store. I felt I couldn't keep walking because of there being so many people, and for me that was like so terrifying. But finally, what I did, I had to go to the bathroom. I tried to calm myself down a little bit, and when I finally got out of the bathroom, I was able to walk out of the door, but I was still freaking out, guys. After that Walmart situation, that's where I believe my agoraphobia began. I was so, so scared to go anywhere. My thought process was like, any store I go to, this is gonna happen. And I would force myself to go out, and it would happen. It would happen again and again and again. And you know what? At one point, I gave up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going out to any store anymore. And I was terrified. I was terrified to go grocery shopping. My husband had to go alone. I couldn't go to any type of store. I couldn't go anywhere enclosed where there was people. I was terrified. I was so scared because of that incident. Like that panic attack at the Walmart is what set off my agoraphobia. And after that, you know, I felt so depressed. I felt so lost. I was like, what's gonna happen to my life? Like, what am I gonna do with my life? Like, am I never gonna be able to go to a store again? Or like, what's my life gonna look like after this? I thought that was like the end of it. Like, I thought that was like the end of my life. Like, not the end of my life, but I just felt like I was never gonna get out of like that bad place. So after that incident, since it was like summertime, we would take my daughter to the park a lot. And I remember one day, we went to the park with my daughter. And you know, parks and like outdoor areas were like my safe areas, because you know, just like being in an open area for me was so refreshing, and I felt like I could never have anxiety there. But tell me why one day at the park, I'm there with my daughter and I start having those same symptoms. Um, and my daughter was playing on the playground. I remember we had just got in there, and like there was a lot of kids and parents, and that's what set off my anxiety and panic attacks again. Just seeing so many people around, I started feeling how I felt at the Walmart that one day. And for me, that was terrifying. The good thing was that our car was parked pretty near, so I told my husband, you know what, I'm not feeling well. I'm starting to feel the same thing I felt at the Walmart. I'm out of here. And I went back to my car, and I sat there and waited for my daughter to be done playing. And that was the start of many months of hell, because after that, I couldn't even get off the car to go anywhere. I was afraid to go to the park. I was afraid to go anywhere where there would be people. Even one person, just one person could trigger it. It didn't even have to be many people. I was afraid to do anything, guys. Like, leaving my house was such a struggle. Knowing that I had an upcoming event or something that I had to attend was horrible. I wouldn't sleep for days and nights. I literally became homebound. I was scared to do anything. I was scared to death to go out alone. I was scared that if I went out alone and my husband wasn't there, I would have a panic attack and there would be nobody to like calm me down. I was literally living at my house 24/7. I had no life. I would cry daily. I felt like in a very deep depression because I felt like my life was over. I was like, what am I going to do with myself? Like, is this my life now? Am I going to be homebound for the rest of my life? Am I never going to have a social life again? Am I never going to be able to uh attend an event? Am I never going to be able to grocery shop again? There was a point that I was like, I need help. I need to get help. I need to go to therapy. I need to get on meds or something. Like, this is not okay. Like, this is too much. But the thought of just going into a doctor's office, or like going into, into a clinic setting or anything like that, or just being in a enclosed place with people, was so terrifying for me, guys. Like, it just felt impossible, because I was like, I'm gonna have a panic attack in there. I'm gonna embarrass myself in front of people. I'm gonna freak out. People are gonna think I'm crazy. So it was really hard to bring myself to go to the doctor. I finally found a clinic, and I told them my situation, and they agreed to do telehealth, because many of them, like, when it's your first appointment, they want you to go in person. So it's really hard to get like a first initial appointment through telehealth, but I finally did. And they finally prescribed me meds, a bunch of meds actually. Like, I don't even remember, like, I think it was like 3 or 4 types of different types of meds. And I remember I got home, and I was really anxious to take the meds, because I had anxiety about taking meds because of the side effects. Like, not only do I have social anxiety, but I have anxiety about everything. So I have like really bad health anxiety as well. So every med they would give me, I would read the side effects, and they would freak me out. And I would be like, you know what? I can't take it. Like, I can't risk like having like a seizure or something. And most of them had seizure as side effects, and seizures for some reason is like one of like my main like medical anxieties, I guess you would say, because I witnessed my dad have one time, and he almost died. And like, and from there, like, seizures has always been like one of like the most terrifying things for me. But anyways, I remember I was like really really scared to take the meds. And they had prescribed me one med that I had taken in the past, and I was like, I'm gonna take the one that I'm familiar with. I'm not gonna take the others. And it was the antidepressant that I had taken in the past, and I took it. And I was already really nervous about it, but I knew I needed it, and I took it around 6 p.m. And the next day, around 4 a.m., I woke up, and I I felt the most terrifying thing that I had ever felt in my life. I had never experienced anything like that in my life. I felt very disoriented. My heart was racing out of my chest. Um, I remember, like, I just felt like something was so wrong. I didn't know what was wrong with me, but I just felt like something was not right. I started like waking up my husband and shaking him, like being like help me, like something is wrong with me. Like, I didn't even know what was like going on. Like, I felt so weird. Like, my hands, my legs felt numb. Like, it was like the weirdest feeling ever. I felt so like off. I felt very lightheaded and dizzy. And I remember my husband asking me questions and talking to me, and I couldn't even reply. I couldn't like comprehend what he was saying. I felt so disoriented. I can't even explain it, guys. Like, it was such a weird thing. Like, I feel like I was losing control of my body again. Um, it was a very terrifying feeling. I turned the lights on, and my eyes hurt. Like, they felt very uncomfortable with the like light when I turned it on. I was like, what's going on? And, like, I walked to the bathroom. I looked in the mirror, and my pupils were so dilated, guys. They were so dilated. And the first thing that came into my mind was like serotonin syndrome. I had read so much about it, and that was something I was always terrified about. That was another reason I wouldn't take meds. But I was like, okay, you know what, this is serotonin syndrome. Like, that was my thought process. It probably wasn't, guys. I'm not even sure what happened there, but it was most likely a nocturnal panic attack, now that I've done my research. But at that moment, like, I was so terrified, because I thought I was dying. Like I was like shaking. Like, I was shaking so much that I couldn't calm myself. I was just so terrified, guys. And I told my husband, you know what? Something is wrong with me. I'm not okay. I truly think I'm dying. Can you take me to the ER? Like, once I got to the ER, like, I felt like I was gonna pass out. Like, I was like literally holding my husband's arm, and like I was like leaning onto him, because I felt like I couldn't stand upright. Like, I was it was really bad, guys. It was not a good time. Yeah, after that, the doctors did a whole bunch of blood tests, and I guess they couldn't rule out serotonin syndrome or a panic attack. They weren't too sure why I felt like that. But all my tests came back normal, so yeah, they ended up sending me home, and they advised me not to take the medication anymore. So I never took it again, and yeah, I kind of just been off meds since then, and I've been too scared to try anything anymore. Since I couldn't be on meds anymore, I started seeking therapy. It was very, very hard for me because I'm so socially anxious, guys. I have really bad social anxiety. But I found a therapist that did telehealth. So that was a good start for me because I feel like less anxious on a screen than in person. So yeah, now I've been going to therapy ever since. And there's been some improvement. I'm not 100% there yet. I'm able to go to the stores sometimes. I'm able to go out sometimes. I'm not 100% cured yet, but I still have my bad days and my good days. I'm still working on it. But yeah, that's my story, and if anybody can relate, I hope this helps you not feel so alone. And you guys could always reach out to me if you guys ever need to like talk, or you're going through something similar and just want to like vent or something. I'm here. But yeah, that's been me dealing with anxiety, agoraphobia, and panic attacks. If you guys want to know more, you guys could comment, please, and let me know if you want me to make another video. You could ask me questions, and I'll always make another video. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Please give this a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.